Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Sales Manager Academy podcast. As always, I'm your host Omar, and we talk about leadership in the boutique wireless retail world and anything really in the boutique retail world. So think AV, think appliances, think furniture sales, anything that's outside of your traditional big box retail environment. And you guys know what we do. We typically run with smaller teams. We have um, not just less room, if you want to call it, for budget when it comes to individuals, but we're typically running like one and two, one in four, for many locations. Uh, and throughout these videos, I will give you information, things that have helped me in the past to grow teams where I've literally helped double the budget. I'm not just talking about what I've been able to help my teams succeed in attaining, but talking about also literally doubling the head count. I remember I was told that it was crazy that I'd ever have a location that had, more than 10 employees. And before I left that region, my top store was a manager, two assistant managers, and about 14 employees. Okay. Full time, no part time employees. And that was in a retail world with an authorized retailer. So if you guys have worked in the authorized retail space and wireless, you know how difficult it is to be able to get a location with one in three, even one in four, okay, staffed adequately. Imagine having a location where the company thought was running great at one in six, sometimes one in seven, and being able to double that and still keep production consistently high throughout the year. And I'm not talking about COVID times, post COVID. I'm talking about way before that. Uh, so there's a lot that can be done, and the core crutch of it is with training and developing because there's so much that teams don't know and your salespeople don't understand and grasp until you've actually helped train them up. You can't expect to throw them in the middle of the ocean and for them to just grab things right off the bat and think they're not drowning with a bunch of information. I've talked about this before. Even if they come from the same industry, company to company, so much is different. Okay, there's even within the same carrier, like in the wireless retail space, even in the same AV space and appliance space, the way bonuses, the way commissions are paid, the support on the back end or non-existent support on the back end, there's so much different items there that yes, it makes it difficult, it makes it different, and a lot of people fail because of that, because the leadership levels don't understand what the actual issues are on the front lines. Solve the frontline issues when it comes to coaching and developing and training, and you solve so much headache on the back end. So much, so much, so much. Okay. Today, though, I want to take things in a little bit different route and not talk about so much on the training and developing, but the mindsets that us as leaders have to have, because that is a huge thing. And a lot of leaders don't understand that aspect. They think if I just bark orders, things will happen. And that's a manager, not a leader. Or they think that eventually people are going to get it and the people that do will stick, the people that don't will leave. You leave so much undeveloped talent that could be great for your organization just run through your fingertips. They just slide through because you didn't take the time to develop them just a little bit. Okay. And with what's going on right now in the macroeconomic things, I just literally finished reading an article about a mattress company that's filing chapter or bankruptcy again, because things have slowed down in the furniture world, right, since 2024. And there's a lot more that's happening that people aren't talking about because either they're afraid or they're too scared or they don't want to open their eyes to the reality of things. As a leader, we cannot do that. As a sales leader, as somebody in sales, you cannot live in a fantasy world where things do not match the reality of things. Okay? Because what that means is where you thought your bread and butter was is no longer there. A lot of people in the real estate, okay, environment, in the real estate industries are realizing that hardcore right now. A lot of people that were doing loans and loan origination are literally seeing that right now. You're wondering, boutique retail, boutique sales is what we focus on. If you guys learned anything I've said in the past, you know that boutique retail things don't exist in just the retail space. It's a myriad, it's almost like a marriage of retail and services put together. So a lot of what we talk about is transferable in a lot of different spaces on this channel. Okay. But that's the reality of what we're seeing right now and the impacts that we're seeing. And we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg here. I literally was talking about this months ago, back in March. I was saying there is this coming. You need to focus on training and developing now. That was back in March. Okay, February, March of this year, of 2025. You need to be focusing on that right now because when things hit the fan, it is going to be a different story and you're not going to have the runway and you're not going to have the personnel to bring on board. If you're wondering, well, things are going great. Things are not going great. Under 40,000 jobs added in the last 3 months because the numbers had to be revised down to the actual numbers. Think about that. That means, and if you take the medical field, the healthcare field out of the equation, we actually lost jobs in the job market over the last 3 months. Every single month would have been negative job growth if it wasn't for the healthcare industry. Think about that. What that means for you in sales, in retail, service. What does that mean? Retail in general, whether it's big box or boutique, we're in for a hard fourth quarter. So if you're not spending time developing people and training them up, there is going to be a lot that's going to happen that you are not going to be around to survive through. Okay. I've seen this on my LinkedIn. If you guys follow me on LinkedIn, right, I'm active there. I post quite a bit. But I see it all the time. So many people struggling to land a gig anywhere. Because the reality is a lot of companies are waiting and seeing what's going to happen. Because all the tariff stuff was past due and is supposed to be going through in August. So the thing is, wait and see how it impacts the bottom line. And for now, we're going to run things as shoestring as possible. And I was telling you guys this before, that you do not want to be losing people in this time frame, because that means that your companies will not give you the headcount. Take from the other stores, take from the other locations until we figure things out. Right now, yes, you can interview, but we're going to freeze on the back end. You still have the job postings, but on the back end, the positions are frozen. And that's what you have to understand, that as a leader, the results of your leadership reflect directly on the performance of your team. There are macroeconomics that will affect things, yes, but they don't have to affect you that much. And what I mean by that is this is where you need to focus on how to niche down. Who are you going to really go after, to focus on, to assist, to help? And I'll tell you from my experience that I always leaned on business. Even though I was in the retail sector, I focused a lot on business customers, on the business world. And I'll tell you, I focused on small and mid-sized businesses, not large businesses. Because they, you find great businesses that are doing well that do need support. Because even in a downturn, there's still going to be organizations that do well. And that's what you need to understand. It is going to affect everything. Yes, there won't be as much money flowing freely. Yes. But there will be some that will be flowing. And as a leader, you need to help your team find that. You cannot be stuck doing operations. You are not a sales leader if you're stuck doing operations. Operations are part of the position, yes, but it should not be taking care of or taking over more than 40% of what you do. You need to be, in this day and age, right here, right now, with what's going on, focusing on more of a hunter mindset to help your team find those gems. Okay? You as a leader will help them find it. And then let them take care of everything else. And once you show them how to do it themselves, because they need your leadership to see what they can do, that it can be done. They're going to be scared right now because all they're seeing is I don't have the volume coming through for me to be able to attain this. So you have to show them the possibility by doing it. Once you do it a few times, Get them to do it. Once they start doing it a few times and seeing like, oh, this is a lot easier, this, I can do this, things will move forward a lot better. They will start getting after it themselves and they will start wanting to do more of that. Okay? Because it means that they can do more work with less effort, essentially, and not have to worry as much. They will be producing, but you have to be that beacon of hope during this time to help them move forward. And that's what it means to be a leader. You're going to guide and mentor them. You're going to show them a path. You're going to help them. You're not going to walk it for them. You're going to help them so that they can be able to do it. And once they start doing it, they will start helping each other out as a team to move forward. And then even during downtime, when things aren't looking good, they'll be able to move forward and produce. And everybody else is going to be wondering, what the fuck are you guys doing? I say that because I've been there. I've helped my teams do it. And when I have one of the smallest regions producing as much as some of the top regions, I become a very big loudmouth. Anybody who's worked with me understands what I mean. They used to hate competing against me because my locations, even though they're about half the size of most of the company average, was producing more than 80% of most regions. So I was constantly in the top 5 units per door across the company. But that's what you guys got to be doing. And it's going to make you uncomfortable. And that's what is going to happen. In sales, in life in general, the one constant thing that we have is that life is change. Change is constant. We will never be in the same spot. Okay? Things will continue to move forward. We have to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. We have to get comfortable with change as much as we don't like change. Acknowledge that. It's okay to acknowledge what we don't like. Don't let that hold us back. Don't let that hold your team back. A little bit of light, a little bit of them seeing the silver lining is going to help them move forward. But you can't be the one barking orders. You need to be the one leading and showing, mentoring, and guiding them to be able to do it. There is a lot. Like I said, right now, unfortunately, is the tip of the iceberg. If these tariffs do truly go through, unless, we get another taco, okay? If these tariffs truly go through, and I say that because obviously the taco has already appeared a few times, okay? That's where we're at. The uncertainty in the business world is one of the biggest enemies of business because business is done on certainties, on understandings that things are going to stay level for a very good period of time. In times of uncertainty, like right now, where companies don't know, am I going to see a 10% tariff? Am I going to see a 150% tariff? Am I going to see a 10% tariff plus a 20% tariff on top of an additional 30% tariff? Like, we don't know what's going on. They don't want to do business that way. So they're going to cut as much as they can in the control to be able to account for that. And what does that mean for the consumer? You guys know exactly what that means. Less to go around. And when there's less to go around on the consumer base, when we're a consumer-driven GDP, hey, what can I say? It's a world of hurt for everybody. So do what you can to help your teams move forward. Focus on training and developing. Get out into the community. Be involved in the community. Show your team what can be possible. But we have to work together to be able to move forward. You from the front as a leader. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. As always, don't forget, hit the like and follow button so that you get alerted when these new videos come out. And I want to thank you for spending time on another episode here at Sales Manager Academy podcast. As always, I'm your guest, Omar. Your host, Omar, and your guest, right at your house, your video, your phone, wherever you're watching this. And I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.